See? Like, I don't know if that's kind of blurry, but you can hear it. It is Fangs, and welcome to a video with me and Rook here. Now, we are going to get into the title of the video here in a second once we get out of this room, but I wanted to explain something because I have been in the last week asked a lot about this helmet that's on Rook's head. So Rook has something that they call plagiocephaly, or plagiocephaly, I think. Your eyes look so blue with this shirt on. His eyes go from like blue to green to possibly hazel sometimes. It's really weird. But he has something called plagiocephaly, and what that actually is a like common condition that babies are getting these days. So back in the day, at least in my time, back in my day, in 1987, babies used to sleep on their stomachs. You'd put them in the bed, you were afraid that there's something called sudden infant death syndrome, and it's where a baby just randomly passes away in their crib, and it's really sad. And I mean, you'd hate to have to go through all of that and have everything and have your wonderful baby there. And then all of a sudden, you just go to get them in the morning and they just are not awake. That would be awful. So, sudden infant death syndrome does happen a ton, and they started linking the cause to possibly being because babies like to sleep on their stomachs, and they're not strong enough to lift themselves up, so they might suffocate themselves in their sleep. And so they started this like back sleep movement where babies need to be sleeping on their back up until they can like turn themselves over. And so Rookster over here did not like tummy time, did he? We did not like tummy time for the first 4 months of life. We were totally against it, even though I tried to force it on him a ton, because they always say to do a lot of tummy time. So we tried it a lot. Do you want to play with that camera? Do you want to play with that camera? You can. Let me just move it over here. We tried it on him a lot, but he slept on his back, and he hated, we had this Halo bassinet. He hated it. It was more of like a flat sleep position, and he had a little bit of possible reflux. We weren't too sure, but he liked sleep. Broke the camera. He liked sleeping at an incline, so he wanted to be like upward. And so we had something called the Rock and Play, and the Rock and Play is something that he slept on for the first 4 months of his life until he moved to his crib. And it like kind of kept him in one position. Are you not wanting the bottle? He's teething right now. So he's like very against the bottles these days. Are you against the bottles? You want to play back here with some of the toys? Anyway, so he slept with that for 4 months, and we moved him a lot. Like, they say to position him in different places. So we had a boppy, we had a swing, we had all that kind of stuff. Now, there's one thing that we could have used that we didn't know about. He did also come out with pretty, like, the only thing that's flat on his head is this little back part in the very bottom. So it's a flat spot, and it should be more round. And so he had that from the beginning because he came in a position they call sunny side up. He was the wrong way, which really messed up your girl, but, you know, recovery. Anyway, so that was already from the get-go. But then his sleeping, we moved him and everything. If we would have had this heart-shaped pillow, it might have helped it out a little bit, because what it had was this, like, crease, this little, like, divot that he could sleep on. I might show it to you a little later in the vlog, and that would have made it to where that was able to grow more, because their head forms a lot in the first year. So if they're sleeping flat on their back, they're going to sleep flat on their head, and they're more likely to have that. Now, he started sleeping on his stomach at 4 months, so they were like, oh, it's going to be fine. He's going to fix it on his own. But it didn't fully fix. Like, it's for the most part fixed, but there's still a part that, like, it could almost be considered cosmetic, but they considered it moderate on the scale, and they thought that if he gets older and he has this flatness on his head and it's not shaped the way that a baby's head should be or whatnot, then possibly he could have jaw problems, he might have to have dental work done, and on top of that he could have sleep apnea and all kinds of stuff. So we were like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go with it. Apparently this happens in a ton of babies. I've had a bunch of girlfriends who've had this happen, and they get this helmet, it's called the Doc Band, which is pretty cool. They have to go get measured for it, and your insurance does not really cover it. At least ours hasn't. $2,400 later, we have this Doc Band on here. So if there's ads on this video, don't be hating on me, because this helmet was $2,400, okay? Help a sister out. And so he has this on here. Now, it got decorated. They don't all come decorated. They're usually white or really clear, but we wanted him to have some, like, style. It was kind of sad that it was just white. And he's gonna have to wear it for 3 to 4 months, so almost until he's a year old. And then hopefully by then everything will be perfect and he'll be good to go. It doesn't hurt him, it doesn't bother him. The only thing that's been happening is this angry eye that he gets whenever he scrunches it up, and it's causing a redness on his nose. So we're taking him in today to hopefully get it fitted a little bit better where it works. But I mean, overall, it keeps him a little bit warmer, so even though it's cool outside right now, he has to stay in like a onesie like this. But overall, it doesn't really do much that really hurts him. What hurts him is whenever there's a ghost in the cam. You know, we're gonna get into the Nest Cam. I'm gonna talk about the Nest Cam. That's pretty much I wanted to explain why the helmet's there and how long it's gonna be there so you guys get it. And so if someone asks me for the millionth time, I can be like, go check out my YouTube video. Now, we've got a ghost problem. We've got a ghost situation, don't we? What's this ghost doing in your room? He's trying to mess with you? Mama did not let ghost mess with Baba. Is he trying to mess with you? Let's go talk about this ghost situation. There's us. Isn't that funny? Okay, so we just got done eating lunch. Are you ready? Well, it's actually kind of breakfast. It was like brunch. Was it brunch, Bubba? Was it brunch? So I'm laying in bed like so. And normally when I lay in bed, I have my monitor that's either plugged in or not, one or the other. Let me see where it is right now. Oh, I just got it right here. So this is the monitor. Yes? This is the monitor that we use just whenever, is this camera focused? Ah, what are you doing? Why are you pulling my hair? Why are you pulling my hair? Here, do you want this one? That's a cooler one. Okay, anyway. So this is the one that we normally use so that we can hear him at night, because in the Nest you have to leave the phone on. It's called the Hello Baby. We love it. Ow! Why do you keep pulling my hair? So it looks like this. So in the middle of the night, we hear like a ding ding. I wake up, it's like 6 a.m. and we hear a ding 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 ding, and I'm like, what is that? And it's the chime from this. And then out of nowhere in the chime, I hear this like chatter, like someone talking, and I was like, what the hell is like Will talking to him on the camera? And so I like sit there for a second, I'm like, someone's talking into my camera. I think it's like super focused on his thing. Maybe I need to go this way. It's focused on his thing. I'm like, someone's talking into my camera at this point. So I'm freaking out. And I like think that maybe I'm dreaming, and then Will wakes up next to me and we hear it chime again, but instead of talking, it was just like static. And it wasn't like a like, hey baby, or anything like that. It was just static, and it sounded very staticky, and like there was indistinct chatter behind the static, and you could hear it chime on. Every time it turns on and off, it chimes on. I'll do it, I'll play it here in a second. And so we're like, what the hell? And we looked on the camera, you couldn't see anyone, there was no one in the room, and it was doing that, and I was like, who the heck is like able to hear or talk to my baby right now? Like, what is happening? Why are we hearing this? And it did it like 4 or 5 times, and he was asleep, so he was waking up to this, and we were trying to turn it off. We finally were able to get on our phone and turn the mic portion off where it couldn't be talked to anymore. But that still means that someone can still like, if someone, it was an actual person. Okay, there's one of two things that it could be. It could be that somehow, 3 things. Someone could have cross-interfered accidentally with it, and it had nothing to do with them talking to anyone. You just like heard it, and it's just not, it's not anything bad. It's just like a cross-interference. 2, someone hacked into it, was trying to talk into it, was having problems or something. I feel like I'm still not that focused. If I'm not, I'm really sorry with this. It was something like that happened, and if that's the case, then big problem. We contacted Nest. They gave us Nest Aware. We're gonna be checking on it and recording it now, because if you had Nest Aware, it would have recorded. Hey, Baba. It would have recorded. And then the other thing could be it's a ghost. And I'm not gonna lie, in the last couple of days, ow! He's literally pulling my hair out. You're funny, but that hurts. In the last couple of days, 3 or 4 days, we've been looking in this monitor, and if you ever watch Ghost Adventures, like random orbs have been popping up in this monitor, and they'll randomly, like, they're not specks of dust that fly like a specific way, they like go and then bolts like one way or the other. So I mean, do you see dead people? Rook, he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to talk about it. Do you see dead people? Oh, really? We don't know. But we're thinking like, what could that be, like some kind of paranormal something or another? Like, what is going on with our camera to make that happen? That has got to be one of the sketchiest things. Let me show you. I'm gonna get my phone so I can play what it sounded like for me on this. I still don't feel like the lens is picking me up too clearly, but I reset it just in case. So anyway, if you talked into it normally. Hello, Rookster, it's Mama. Do you hear that? Do you hear what that sounds like in the background? Rookster, I love you. So you're hearing that and like indistinct chatter with it in the background, but it was like, and then indistinct chatter. The first sounded like that, where it was just talking with something like that. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, like for one, this is one of the biggest reasons I didn't want anything Wi-Fi, because I'm afraid that people can hack into them. And I guess it's happened before. At least it wasn't some terrifying person on there saying like, I'm taking your baby. But it could have been a ghost. At this moment, we feel like it could have been a ghost. I don't know what it was, but it was the creepiest thing. Like literally, like this whole day I've been kind of like shooken about it. We've reset everything. They're going through, Nest is checking stuff. We have Nest Aware now so it can record it next time it happens, but that is creepy, isn't it? Okay, so let's get back to showing your helmet. We've got our diaper change and we've changed clothes. So, we have the Dallas Cowboys emblem over here. Oh, it does this little thing where it kind of pushes down. That's what we're going. Hi. Wow. I am a red fox. See how it does this thing right here where it's pushing down on his forehead? They call it the angry eye. We're taking it today to hopefully get adjusted where it's better than that. But over here you can see the cowboy star. On the back it says Rook right there. I don't know if you can see that. He's not letting me get behind him because you want mama to hold you, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, you do. Oh, you want to get the camera? Oh. Oh. Look, it's giving you the angry eye, bub. Pop it up. Pop it up. I was right. Oh my gosh. Okay, but if we go over here, we get behind him because we're gonna just pivot him. Pivot. Skozoop. You can see the Rook back. He's so fast. Rook, can I just get behind you here? Oh my gosh. We're gonna see that at one point. Maybe you're gonna have to check it out on Instagram. This is his Dallas Cowboys helmet. So let me show you the setup of where the cams are. Like, so this is the Nest Cam. And it sits right here on the R, and it looks down into the bed, which is like awesome because if I'm away, like I'm out of town, say I go to travel or whatever, this is like one of the things we wanted to have just so we can make sure everything's going on. Or say a sitter's watching him, but we still want to check in on him. If you have the Wi-Fi, at least what I thought, then this would work. This is on. This might actually have background noise. I'm sorry if you'll hear that. That's a noise machine. If you ever get a kid, you'll want that. But we also have just a regular camera called Hello Baby that sits over here. And this is so that we can hear him at night in case he wakes up crying or anything like that. Because if you try to do that with this Nest Cam over here, you would have to leave your phone on and it would just be obnoxious, and it doesn't always send you the notifications whenever he moves, like every time. So we want to be able to hear him. Although like honestly, we can hear, our room's like down here, so we can hear him, but we still like to check. So this is the camera that we heard all of this stuff off of. So if someone was on it, they didn't realize that this camera was sitting on here and that we'd be able to hear, which I don't know how you wouldn't know that. I mean, honestly, it could have been interference. But Rook, do you have a ghost in here? Are your grandparents coming and watching over you or something and they were trying to give you a little talk-to last night? I don't really know. I don't really know, but that was a little scary. Did you remember you woke up at 6 a.m. and you're like, who's talking to me? Who is in here talking to me? And I can show you what it sounds like whenever you talk on there. And then I mean, you've got to hear what it sounded like on the camera downstairs, but I'll show you what it sounds like in here. So you have a camera right here and you just kind of like hit talk. Hello? See, like, I don't know if that's kind of blurred, but you can hear it. So that's like I was hearing, is like someone had held it and held down on it. And then they were just like talking, but it didn't seem like they were really talking to Rook. Do you hear that chime? Was that the chime of weirdness? It's like echoing. That is so weird. So that is what we're dealing with right here. It was a ghost, wasn't it? It was a ghost! Alright, back to what I was saying. So, I've also been kind of thinking about it, and like randomly in the Nest Cam, do I need to hold this the other way? Randomly in the Nest Cam, these are not my glasses, these are Will's. They don't fit my face, but I couldn't find mine. I've seen it where no one's up there. No one is up there. And it'll be like, someone's in the room. And I don't know if it's a lighting change or what it is. I always just try to like not think about it. We live in a pretty brand new house. Like, it's only 3 years old. There's no way, unless it was on an Indian burial ground or something like that, there's no way that it should be haunted. But maybe, just maybe, Rook used to look like off in the distance behind us when we were holding him, and really he was probably just looking at the flowers that were sitting behind us. But Will's mom used to say stuff like, he's looking at the people that watch over him, which you think is his grandmother's, my Granny Helen, who he was born on her birthday, or Will's grandma. Both of them have passed away. And I was like, oh my god. Now, it didn't sound like them talking into the baby monitor, but maybe she's right. Maybe she isn't. Why am I seeing things on it? Is that Nest Cam just trying to freak me out? More than likely someone probably hacked into it, I feel like, which is kind of screwed. Like, who does that? So yeah, there's something weird going on. There's something weird going on in this room right here. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna have to get some paranormal freaking cameras. Something's gonna have to go down here, because that's just scary. I'm probably just gonna get rid of that camera, to be honest. Sorry, Nest, but that is just weird. That is gonna be it for this video here today. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Back to normal videos tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and until next time, see you guys later. Pray for me.